to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You may want to get out there.
You think?
Yep. Because I'm going to be blocking you. You're not going to bother me.
They'll each have 5 minutes to address the court.
Good morning, Judge Grant and Commissioners. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak at this time. I have the privilege to meeting a few of you. For those who don't know me, I'm Teresa Praisel. I'm the City Administrator for the City of Tigg and also a Freestone County resident. Today, I will be speaking on behalf of the City Administration for the cities of Tigg, Wortham, and Fairfield, and also the police agencies, regarding the unanticipated depopulation of our county jail. Most importantly and foremost, we want each of you to know that we are here to support our county officials and provide any assistance with helping to resolve this dire situation. After receiving the news late last Wednesday regarding the impending depopulation of our county jail, we immediately reached out to our fellow colleagues and county officials. After much discussion, it was unanimously agreed upon that our primary goal is to see the Freestone County Jail back open for booking purposes. Due to this unexpected procedural change for the transportation and booking of all Freestone County arrested persons, each government entity within Freestone County now faces many hardships, to include our community and county safety and welfare, our officer safety, and unforeseen financial burden. We understand that you cannot discuss or take any action at this time regarding this matter, but we felt it was important for our voices to be heard and to let each of you know that we are here to support you and helping our county officials with seeking a resolution that will ultimately benefit all of our communities. We're requesting that we, in this matter, be placed on the next Commissioners Court agenda for further discussion and hopeful action. On behalf of the City of Tigg, City of Wortham, and City of Fairfield, we would like to thank you for allowing me to speak today. We look forward to a positive working relationship and resolution to the serious problem.
Thank you.
Judge Grant, Commissioner, my name is James Tice, here at the private citizen account. Anyway, I put together some figures for you today. I just want to run down through here. A prisoner at $42 a day, 365 days a year, over at Limestone will cost the county $15,330 per year. On an average, it was stated in the paper of 20 prisoners at $15,330 would come out to $306,600 per year for 20 prisoners. Okay, the max prisoners at 43 prisoners at $15,330 will come out to $659,190. Okay, at the current rate, y'all paying your jailers approximately around $12.50. That's $26,000 a year. If you would increase that to $15 per hour, which is $2.50 difference, that would be an increase of $5,200 increase per year per jailer. At a maximum jailers of 13 times of $5,200 is $67,600 per year. You would have to increase your budget to $67,000. At the max prisoners going to Limestone, if that was $659, $659 $59,190. And you subtract the difference from 13 jailers, it's $405,600. That's a difference of $253,590 difference. So by just increasing your budget by $67,600 per year, you will save $253,590 if you send all 43 prisoners over there. So my question to y'all is, you consider increase your annual budget $67,600 and increase your jailer's pay to $15 an hour. That's all I'm saying.
Anyone else would like to make a comment, further comment?
Judge, I would just like to comment that, we're doing our 100-year celebration for the 100 years of the courthouse on April the 26th from 11 to 3. And so I've got some flyers made, so if anybody here would like to take some flyers and come around, we're doing that. It's open to the public. We're hoping to have a great celebration.
And we would like for anyone that will to participate, whether you want to set up a table and show some things from your area, however you would like to participate, we would really appreciate your help.
We are going to plant a tree and have a time capsule and some other fun things.
And we're going to have our next meeting when?
Monday at 11.
Monday at 11. So any of you that are interested, please come and we'll try to make some plans. All right. Anyone else have a public comment? Sheriff?
Well, first off, I'd like to clear the air because the word closed keeps coming up. This jail's not closed. If it ever closes, the state of Texas will not reopen it. So the jail is not closed. It is depopulated. And we're working as fast as we can. Chief's gone through 5 applications in the last 2 days to try to get some people hired. Obviously, we've been trying. In the last 3 months, we've literally hired 2 people. That's going through all our applications, all our background checks and all that. We've only hired 2 people with what we're getting. It's not like we're getting a whole lot of applications in, but we're going back through old ones just to make sure at this point. But we're not closed. We are depopulated until we can get some more people hired and more people trained, or get them hired and trained so that we can bring these people back. As soon as I can get, I'm thinking as soon as I can get about 3 people trained for book-in process, then we can start there as far as booking in here again and transporting. That way it alleviates the issue on the other agencies. One thing I think we've seen here, because we've heard it mentioned before in the past, is maybe we should just house all our inmates in Limestone County. Well, I think we've seen the huge domino effect that this has created. It's huge, it's massive. I knew how big it was because I've been doing this for 18 years. But now there's even stuff that's come up that I wasn't even considering. Obviously, I didn't have a choice. This is the Jail Commission, state standards for the state of Texas recommended this because the personnel I had were not trained where they should have been because we don't have enough people. And because we don't have enough people is why we're in this this situation right now. So we are working as quick as we can. I know I've tried to keep in contact with the agencies to see how things are going. But there's a huge difference between closed and depopulated. Okay, so if I could hire 8 people today, we're still looking at probably 6 to 8 weeks. Just because of training, trying to get them trained, trying to get everything going back like it's supposed to. There was also an issue that was brought up that it was closed because of failed jail inspection. Well, for those that are here, that have been here, we fail jail inspection almost every single time. And that's because of our age. And that's because of the state changing things constantly. The commission knows that. Obviously, we know that at the sheriff's office. This is nothing new. All we do is they show us where our issue is, and we try to get it fixed. Sometimes they tell us an issue, and there's no way to fix it, so we just move on. You know, they show it as a strike against us, but we can't even fix it in our jail. We have locks in our jail, just for an example, a control board in our control room and locks on our prison doors or on our jail doors, they don't even make them anymore. They don't even make them. They have to create parts just for our jail. So those kind of things get struck against us all the time. So that is not why we're closed, because we would still be operating right now just like we would if I had the manpower that was trained. So just to clarify those two things for people that's going around, that's not the case. And, we're all going to work together. We all, there's rumors that go around that we don't work together as agencies. Yes, we do. I stay in contact with these guys, and they stay in contact with me. And all three of them staying right there, and they'll tell you that. We work just fine together. We're going to work fine through this, and we're going to be just fine afterwards. It's going to be a learning process and a growing process, and hopefully it'll propel us forward for the future of the county and our law enforcement, to be honest, because I think everybody has seen the dilemma that this has had. And this could have happened multiple times through the years in my 18-year career. And any ex-employee will tell you that. This is just something that finally came to a head, and we wasn't able to keep up. And so when I lost 3 people in a week, I had no other choice. And jail commission didn't give me another choice. So that's why we're at where we're at. So we'll work together, we'll get through it, and move on.
Last thing about what the sheriff said. My name's Devin Murray, and I'm the chief deputy. We had 5 applications for the jail. 3 of them I immediately removed because they did not meet the minimum standards. In other words, they had a flaw in their background that wouldn't allow them to be a jailer or work in law enforcement. The one we did an interview with, I have to do a background check on them. Then I have to go through a series of psychological interviews, a physical, drug screening, and fingerprints. The 5th person I called, I haven't gotten a call back. So out of those 5 that I've looked at, that's it in a nutshell. But for me to do a background and to clear these people to come in and work, there's several steps that have to take place. So, thank you.
All right, if there are no other comments, then we will go to item number 1, to approve the minutes of the regular meeting. Is that what you just brought to our office?
Yes,
For the minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Do you need one?
Is Ben still in here? You have to make some copies. All right. Okay, she's gonna make some. All right, we'll come back to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to item number 2, to budget transfers and amendments.
Make a motion to pay budget transfer amendments.
To approve those,
Yes, ma'am.
there are 2 sets. You saw? No, we have no. That's all we want. All right, yes, sir.
I'm just a little bit confused on number 4, 13,476, contingency special, and that's reclassified, like paid grant work for first invoice on hazard mitigation planning grant. What is that? I'm just not sure. I don't remember what
All
that
right,
is.
we did apply for a planning grant, and it was awarded, and that is to do our hazard mitigation program, or document. We have to pay grant works, and then we get reimbursed from the state. So we didn't have that budgeted. We didn't know it would be this. So, but we did get it, and we will have to pay this, we'll get the reimbursement, we'll put it back into that special.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. And we have a motion, do we have a second? All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 3 is to approve and pay the bills.
pay the payroll.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, aye. Motion carries. Item number 5 is reports. I have a monthly report from JP2 for February and one for March. I have a report from JP3 for March. The district clerk, March. Senior services for March. And county clerk for March.
Judge, you should have one sick leave report for the quarter for me and also a vacation sick holiday report for the quarter.
Yeah, sick leave, report, thank you, for the first quarter. No request.
The big one is the vacation sick liability report that I do on a quarterly basis also, and it goes through March, the end of March, on what everybody has liability is.
All of these will be filed with the county clerk, and if anybody would like to review any of them, then we certainly can get a copy from the county clerk. We have a motion to accept the report.
I make a motion that we accept the reports.
All in favor, aye. Item number 6, burn ban,
No action.
no action. All right. Item number 7, special road use agreements.
I have a special road use agreement for County Road 945, and it's a pipeline, PTC Katy pipeline. This is the one that was left off of that bond that was here last week or so. This does not have a bond attached to it, so therefore I'm assuming that it falls under those other roads that we had that million, whatever it was, bonds on. So each road has
Is there
100,000.
is there an addendum saying that it's to be added with that?
It's not listed on that bond. It's from the minutes of last.
Right, so there should be an addendum saying it's added.
I'm assuming, and I talked to that guy about getting whatever he covered on that up here. But in order to approve, if it's not on that bond, I do not want to approve it till we get $100,000 bond on that road.
It is not.
Okay.
Are there any other? Not. All right, number 7. Item number 8, approve bonds and education certificates. Are there any? If not, we'll go back to item number 1 to approve the minutes of the April 3rd meeting.
All that bond and transfer, I have 10 roads, and I think 3 is not, 79. It's 751, it's 2 different parts, they have, it continues, the whole road is like 601, so I think it's all of them.
Okay.
Judge, Commissioner Court, since January of 2018, I've lost 16 employees in jail. Out of those 16 employees, 8 of them, in their exit interview, stated they would not be leaving our county if it was just for a little bit more money. People have families, they got bills like all the rest of us do, and $26,000 in 2019 just doesn't cut it. And we've known that. And I understand the situation that our county is in. That's why me and the chief and Mary McDonald work so hard to try to make sure that we're getting any funding that we can into the county. I think we brought in over $89,000 in 2 years as far as in equipment and stuff that we've needed that hasn't had to come before the court. We've had other options that we've used, but now we're coming forward to the court because we don't control the purse strings as far as our budgets and our salary, and obviously salaries doesn't fix everything. We all know that. But, you know, money don't make you happy, but it sure makes you help you pay the bills. And are we going to still have people leave if we raise the salary? Sure. You know, whether it's because I'm the one that had them leave or they left on their own. But I think we need to start looking at this jail and our office in general. But right now, jail is the one that's under the microscope. But in our office generally, we need to start looking at employees that want to make a career here instead of have us be the ones where they come and just get a paycheck until that next application they put in already somewhere else that pays much more than we do, and then they go somewhere else. And then we spend our money and our time to train these folks and to have them with our office just to see them leave. And we've lost some good people. I mean, when Mary was doing some research for us on the surrounding counties and where some of our people were going, one of the phone calls, they thought we were calling because we wanted our 2 people back. They did not want to get rid of them. I mean, that's what kind of quality people we're losing. Out of those 8 people, all of them were 8 months to 2 years experience at minimum. That was my most experienced people I had in my jail, and I lost them all. So I do think we need to look at the pay scale. I think we need to look at it from a career point of view, to where they're just not coming in making $26,000 and getting a 2% pay increase here or there. We need to look at something where they can establish themselves and have some success and move forward in the career. And one of the things that the vast majority, not just around us, but in the state of Texas has, is they got incentive pay. Sometimes some of them have shift pay. They have certificate pay. There's things that they provide these jailers that come to work that if they benefit themselves, they're benefiting us, and they can make a career, and they can move forward with us instead of moving forward somewhere else. I know I presented you with the proposal that I had. I'm not sure if, okay. That's what I propose based on Freestone County and what everybody else has. Obviously, we don't have the tax base some of these folks have. But I just wanted to research those specific places because that's where we're losing people to. We can't keep up with their money, but we can do better in being competitive and trying to keep the people that live in Freestone County working in Freestone County, because right now they're leaving us. And that's how we've gotten to this point. So I'd really like for you to consider, obviously in the 2.5 years that I've been here, we've gotten a lot of stuff done and a lot of stuff accomplished and worked on. And this is just another one of those things, you know, of what we inherited when we got here. And we've constantly been fixing and upgrading and improving. And to me, this is nothing different. We're going to do this and we're going to move on and keep rolling. So I just thank you for your consideration. And, you know, if you got any questions, obviously you'll be asking.
was thinking that some of the people were going to ask a question, but what I want to ask, I want to ask a couple of questions. And then the questions I'm asking is just for me to have clarity. I've been looking, trying to figure out, I haven't seen where you had ran an ad in the paper to give
Right.
employees. And I'm wondering why hadn't you ran any ads to get any employees to advertise?
Because I can reach 20 to 35,000 people in a matter of 10 minutes on social media, and it doesn't cost this county a penny. If I run those ads in those papers, we start paying hundreds of dollars at a time, and I'm reaching way, way more people in a quicker amount of time.
But don't you think we should? I'm just asking.
There's actually a policy.
I've already checked that.
What's that?
I was gonna say, there's actually a policy for the county on that you must run an ad in the paper. I think Judge Grant's office holds that policy.
And but this is me. I don't know about this is me. I like to know, because when people are asking me questions, I like to be able to answer and know the answer. And so I was just curious since you said we run it on social media, I'm asking, do you think it would have been good if we ran it in the paper as well? Just asking.
I don't, otherwise I would have. And that's just because of talking to the citizens. I've lived here forever. And that's just for talking to the citizens and trying to save the county money, which is what we try to do from day one of taking over to try to help. As I said, we can reach far, far more people on that social media in this county than we can the newspaper. And that's not a mock on the newspaper, that's just reality. Because socially, the public has moved to social media. They're rarely reading the newspaper.
But if it's our policy, and I think one of the things that I'm big on, and y'all taught me well, is about follow policy and procedure. And so I try to follow policy and procedure, and I try to apply. So one of the things I would recommend is that we advertise in the paper to see. Second thing that I wanted to ask, when Ms. Wembley, I want to bring some clarity to this. Ms. Wembley, I believe it was her name.
Yes,
that
yes,
was over there. Now, when she was there, I believe before she left, I had spoken, and everything was running really well. Nobody was quitting, and I'm trying to figure out what happened when she left, and we have this mass exit of people.
Well, we had 4 people leave prior to her that were our most experienced, some of our most experienced people. But as these people start dropping off and they start getting more and more responsibility, you're talking about taking the responsibility of a jail administrator that nobody else knew what to do. She knew what was going on. You take all her responsibility and try to give it to a jailer that's not even trained, that's not going to work, especially with $26,000. And they don't know, they can barely do the basic job of a jailer. I can't give them the administrator's job, working with the state, trying to do this and that. So I'm taking that responsibility, trying to show other people, which was my sergeant, who is the most recent one to transfer in the same position to another county for more money. That's who we were trying to work with in order to learn all that. Now he's gone. So it's not because she and Wimberly left. I'm going to tell you that didn't help, because she had a lot of respect in that office. Everybody knew, she knew what was going on and what was happening. But that's not why everybody left. I mean, people were leaving constantly. We've lost a jailer every 43 days. We lose a jailer, one jailer about every 43 days on average. That's what we're averaging. That's horrible. I mean, that's them coming in and out. It's constant rotation in there. And that's why we're wasting our time training them just to leave to train another one. And then we end up with a rookie training a rookie. You know, it's kind of like with an officer. We're not going to get an officer out of the academy, throw him in a car and say, hey, go after it. They might have used to do that. We can't do that now. It's not going to work. You can't take a jailer off the street and just throw him in there and say, hey, go to work. You can't do it.
Jerry, I want to, Jerry and I don't want you, when one of my deals when I ran to make sure that every department have the tools that they need to be successful. I
Yes.
believe in it. You cannot be successful without the tools, so I support making sure, and I have supported
Yes, sir.
everything that the sheriff department have done.
And my office respects you and that.
Yeah, and so the questions I'm asking are not questions to attack in any way, because I think you have done an amazing job. So I want to make sure that we have clarity on that. People have clarity that I'm just asking questions.
Yes, sir.
For me. Now, this is just too much. I'm through. People feel like, well, number one, we did not know, or let me put it this way, I did not know anything about the jail being closed. And I was thinking if we had addressed this before we got to this point, we could have made some major adjustments. And I didn't know this. It was not brought, unless I missed the commissioner's court meeting.
No, because I didn't know this until Tuesday evening when I was handed a resignation letter from my only other jailer that knew how to book in. I didn't know it. I told you guys Wednesday after commissioner's court is, I mean, that's as quick as I can start getting the word out because I'm trying to handle our stuff. So you found out when we knew.
And
I've
I'm
been-
working with the jail commission to figure out what we
Yes,
could do to
yes.
make it, so that it wouldn't actually close, because it's not.
No, yes, not closed.
I know I was keeping the judge updated on what was going on because we pulled our courthouse security from here. We pulled our 911/maintenance guy from here. We pulled off our street. I worked shifts in the jail to make ends meet. We were doing everything we could to try to keep this jail running. We didn't even have to do that. Jail commission, matter of fact, didn't want us to do that. But I was trying to buy time for applications and possible people to hire so we could to prevent this. And that's not what happened. But when I got the last resignation from my sergeant, I couldn't do anything else at that point because I only had one other person, who is Adriana, in my jail right now, that knows pretty much the ins and outs of everything in there that's working in there.
And we had been discussing already, looking at the salaries at budget time,
Yes.
to see what we can do.
Yes, this was something we tried to prevent. Believe me, I'm pulled from everywhere, and it's affected my other areas. When the jail commission found out I was working in there, Andy was sitting in there, he knows, they were like, no, there's no sheriff in the state that needs to be working in the jail. But I was doing that in order to try to make ends meet, to buy some time, to try to get things rolling, so that we didn't have to get to this point. But you found out about it as soon as I could let you find out, because I wasn't even aware.
Okay. And the reason I said that is when the city administrators start calling and
Yes.
asking me questions,
Sure.
and I'm out of the loop and don't know what's going on, and arguing with them that that's not happening, and then just come to find out that is happening. Again, let me restate again. I do appreciate everything that you and your officers are doing. I think you have done an amazing job. I think you have brought a totally new level to the sheriff department, and I certainly do support what y'all have done and do appreciate the job that you've been doing. But I just had to ask this question. One last question, Ms. Wembley.
Yes.
I think people are under the influence that Ms. Wembley left because of lack of pay. I want to make sure we clear that up.
No. Our lieutenant did not leave for pay. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard, nobody brought that to my attention. But no, she did not leave for a lack of pay. No.
Make sure we cleared that up.
Yes.
Because there were people that were saying that.
No, she is not one of the 8 that I named.
Okay.
Yeah. Or that I said, in that number. Yeah.
I think we definitely need to look at the policy procedure that our county set, and I think the policy states that we should do advertising internally and in the newspaper when we have vacancies. And if I look back and my research is correct, Jeremy, Sheriff, I think in 2017 you did put maybe an ad in a newspaper for jailer positions. If we did it in 2017, why would we not do that in 2019? I mean,
It was done in 2017 because we didn't even have any applications to look at that time. We've had applications to look at this time. So we extended out to spend more money in doing so. It's not good. We're not to the point where I'm just flat out saying we're not going to do that. I just felt that we haven't had to. This isn't something that's been happening for months. This happened all of a sudden. I mean, it wasn't something I could plan for. I mean, this was a quick deal. So I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm not gonna advertise in the newspaper, because we are to the point to where we may have to advertise in the newspaper. But I was answering the question as to why. And the reason why was to try to save the county money, because it wasn't necessary at the time. I mean,
And also, if you apply with it in a newspaper and you keep those applicants on file somewhere, you know, when you got a vacancy, you can always
We have,
call
and we
people
do.
and say, hey, are you still interested in a job? If so, we got a vacancy.
that's what he's done. But, and I think a lot of people don't realize we're not applying at Buc-ee's or Brookshire's or a secretary position. We're applying in law enforcement where the state of Texas tells you who you can hire. It's not easy.
I'm perfectly aware that I'm a jailer.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly aware of that.
Would you like
well, we could have,
Ma'am, good, I have before.
but my point is just because you get 20 applications in, doesn't mean you're gonna get a single one of them that passes the background. And these other agencies know that. It's hard.
And what happens when you tell what the pay is?
Oh,
That's the point of this line under right here. It's not about advertising, it's about what the pay is. I talk to these kids when they're leaving this jail. They have 2 jobs and they live here, and they can go somewhere else, driving somewhere else, and make way more than they're making here. That's the point of this discussion. He's doing everything he can,
But to
but
answer
when they
your
see the
question-
pay, they back out, and I do not blame them.
Yes,
To
sir.
answer your question, it's not like we've eliminated advertising. We're trying to do what's best for the county. And as the sheriff of Freestone County, I have a legal obligation to do what's best for the taxpayers and my office. And that's,
Yeah, and I think as office holders, we need to follow our policy and procedures of the county. Thank you, Sheriff.
Sure, so you're talking about a $3,760 increase. So you say go from 26,000 to
$26,400. $26,400 is the starting pay for our jailers,
That's correct.
same as our dispatchers.
That's correct.
And my personal belief is that if we go to $30,160, that's 15, matter of fact, it's exactly what he said, it's $15 an hour. And I did some of the same numbers. It's $15 an hour, and it puts us in a competitive position with all these other agencies we're losing our employees to. But I do not want it to be overlooked at what all these other agencies are paying. I mean, they're paying overtime after a certain number of hours. They're paying certificate pay. They're giving these people, their employees, a future, a career with their department by doing that.
I have absolutely no problem with that increase. One thing, I was wondering if the cities would want to step up and help us out a little bit with the increase of that pay. Something that they can put on the agenda be that y'all spending money now to take people and house them, you're spending it, and so I'm just wondering, could y'all assist us with that pay?
I'll say, so we met last night, or Monday night, and we've actually discussed that. Whatever we need to do to help to solve this, we would just need to work that out between the two. Something our council and TIG has considered.
Okay, well, I would,
I think we probably need to look in conjunction with all of our salary grades and with what we're currently paying. We can't just, I mean, this will flow over into other things, as far as the certificate pay and all of that will flow over to the officers and everyone.
Absolutely. But that's why I'm saying is we're magnifying the jail right now, but it's the whole office problem.
And I think that's what we've been talking about, is hopefully, when we talked about previously was when we got the budget time to try to
Work on that then.
work on all of that.
so we're not gonna wait till budget time to do something, or do we need to go ahead and raise the pay?
Budget time's right around the corner.
Huh?
Budget time is right around the corner.
We should get our certified values probably in a week or so. Not certified, our estimated values.
but our jail is closed today.
Depopulated.
Well, depopulated today. Depopulated today. And I'm trying to figure out how can we get some jailers in there to try to take some of the pressure off of the entities. And so I'm wondering, do we need to go ahead and do the 30,160 today? Do we need to take a little to come back? I know you're talking about budget right around the corner, but the jail is closed today. So I'm just trying to find out what we need to do. We want to wait and advertise, see what we, I don't want to wait till the budget. Too far. I don't want to wait. I feel like we're going to have to do something before the budget. and I think that's be too much weight on all the other entities and then have the jail closed at home. If we don't do anything but hire enough of them that we can bring them here and then move them. I think all of the judges at the moment might have to end up going to Groesbeck. So I'm trying to figure out.
We're going to be
what
talking
do.
about that on the next item.
Okay.
That way we're
Okay.
try to accommodate them.
So I'm trying to figure out, do we need to do something today so that we can move forward to get some employees?
You know, I'd like to say that we just have so much money. So everybody knows that. Nobody has figured in the $9,300 per person per year for their insurance. And you add that to the salary. I know you can't go to Brooks and buy a loaf of bread with it, but it's still money out of the pot. And that puts that salary on a piece of paper at $35,700. Then you add the 12 paid holidays. Then you add in longevity after 3 years. You add in the 1.5 matching on retirement. It's just so, you know, we just have so much money.
I guess my response to that, and I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever, Andy, you know that, I've known you my whole life. But I guess my response to that is, what are your guys making?
Mine make 40,000.
Yep.
Yep. And all that goes into your guys too.
How much is their part-time?
But then I've got,
14.
but then I've got
15.
my jailers and
Their
dispatchers
part-time's 15.
that are barely making a living
I've looked.
at poverty level at 26,000. And I guess that's my response to that is, we found money to pay your guys what you thought they deserved. At some point, we've got to do that for the rest of the county, but, I mean, we've got to do that for my office.
They didn't do theirs during budget time. They did it afterwards, 7%, remember? They didn't do theirs. Except for Mike Similar didn't do it. They found the money then.
All right, anything else, Jeremy?
I think, I mean, you know, we need the money to entice the people in. We need to look at longevity instead of, 4 to 8 months, and no, this ain't worth it because we're not making enough money. We're not putting up with this issue in this building for this pay. And that's what it is. I understand budget's right around the corner. And I also understand we could give them the $30,000 and they leave anyway. I understand that. But we've got to start somewhere, and we know for a fact they're not staying for 26. And the competitive going rate is what I provided. I didn't provide anything over. I provided the bare minimum, just like I do every time I come in here, what we need to get by. That I feel like that will propel us for a couple years before we have to do this again. Unfortunately, our taxes have gone down. But at the same time, the percent we pay, if anybody's done any research on the counties that are roughly our size, we're nowhere close to what they're paying in taxes. So we have put ourselves in this position. We have. And the only way we can fix it is if we fix it. We can't keep going like we're going and saying we don't have any money. We don't have any money because we're not getting any money. We've got to figure out how to get the money in. But at this point, I'm the sheriff of Freestone County. I have to run what I have. When I took over, I said, hey, I told y'all then, I didn't care if we got a new jail or not. My job is to run what we got. Do we need one? Yes. That's why we don't even need to talk about it. Everybody in this county knows we need a new one. But we don't even need to discuss it. Either you're gonna build a new one or you're not. At this point, I just need employees to run what I've got and to try to help out the rest of this county and these other agencies. Because everybody's in a bind. I mean, we have seen the massive domino effect that this has had. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it would be at this magnitude. Of course, I didn't have a choice. So, do we need the money? Yes. Can we wait till October? Hey, can we get lucky and hire some people? Possibly. And they may be gone by October. I don't know. But personally, I think we should do this now. I think we should put it out there, and just that money alone is going to draw in attention. So,
No, it's after comment time, sorry.
Until I know more about where the money's coming from or how we will get the money, I'm gonna say we can table it until next week. But I don't know. I really don't. Where the money is. These folks may know where the money is, but I don't know.
I would, me personally, looking at where we're at and the effect that it's having, I personally would say, let's do the 30,160, try to work with the other entities, try to come up with the money. You know, I just had 5 covers wash up, big covers. I just had 2 belly dump truck break, dump truck back broke, and a couple of tractor broke. And I'm looking at, just in repairs, I'm looking at about $50,000 I don't have. Looking at cupboards of about $75,000 that I really don't have. But I still got to make it happen because people ain't gonna want to hear that. And so I think we're at a place that we got to make something happen to open, to get some jailers there, to take the weight off of all of the different entities. It's just not affecting us, it's affecting some other people. So that's what I would recommend. But I know that's just my voice. I just wanted to make sure that it was heard.
I can't make a motion to approve it today. I can't do it, because I don't know where the money's coming from. I need to talk to somebody that's handling money. Or,
I bet we need to make some efforts to try to recruit some people through other means other than social media, like the county policy.
I would not be comfortable about talking about the certificate pay right now or the comp time until we can address that part of the budget. Because I think we need to address also at the same time what we're gonna do for your officers with their certificate pay and the comp time. And I think that all, to me, if we're gonna offer it to one, we need to offer it to all of them. That's the part that I'm not ready for. But, let's look and see what we can come up with to satisfy everybody's concerns, and then we'll talk about this next time and see what we can get. You know, everybody else may be okay with doing that other part right now, but I'd like to do that when we do a budget time, just that part. But, all right, if there's no motion, then we will have it on the next agenda. We'll go to item number 10 to discuss equipment for the magistration of the inmates. The JPs have really been working to try to figure out what to do so they can make this work for us. And Teresa has found a program. We went from $150 a month leasing a program for each JP to $50 to buy a flat program for $50 for each JP.
Yeah.
And a camera.
Limestone has Skype. They have Skype on the computer. So what I did was I downloaded Skype to my computer, and I had a camera with a microphone, and I put that with my computer, got that to working. All I need now is to purchase a software. It's a one-time purchase, about $50 to capture it. Because we do have to keep that for at least, we have to record every one of them and keep them for at least 121 days. And I'm also thinking maybe an external drive with a few terabytes to hold all that. And I think that would work just fine.
And then they can do the remote magistration since we're not looking in here. We went ahead and put this on here because we didn't know if we were going to need to buy some equipment or if we were going to need to do a contract for the program or what. But I don't think we need any action because we can, we have funds that we can pay for the $50.
So the court, all that we ask is the court if we have any help. I didn't know this until this last budget.
Okay, you already see your little face back there.
I didn't know until this last budget year that our tech funds are depleted because of one court not handling too many tickets for many years and still using all of the money. So nobody's in office right now. Yeah. Anyway.
She's laughing because I'm asking her to speak up because she knows I forgot my hearing aids.
Yes,
so,
she did tell me that earlier, I forgot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's possible, I'm looking at less than $200.
Glad to be and not a monthly fee. So
Instead of
we're
being,
good with that.
because the tech guy that offered the program, it would run $600 a month with JP plus we're still the tax program.
Item number, any questions for her or any of the JPs about that? Okay, item number 11 is to allow Beth Smith to, which is a new employee in my office, to opt out of the county medical insurance. And we'll still be good on our percentages?
We're still good on our percentage.
All right, all in favor, aye. Motion carried. Any comments from Commissioners Court members?
I'd like for you to pray for Pastor Davis' father that passed away, and there'll be two riders, I think, this coming Friday at 11. So pray for them. He most definitely is a pillar in the view and language community, and it will be great for this. So I should pray for them.
And on April the 26th, April the 26th is our county government day. That'll be a Friday, so remember Monday we'll have a meeting. Also on April the 20th, there's going to be a concert at the high school. It's a Christian group that is coming. It's free, so if you would pass the word around to everyone, everyone is welcome. Okay, if there's nothing else,